He has to stand on the what? Gummigoo, what are you doing here, dude? You're supposed to be dead.
I just want to wish you a pleasant day.
Oh,
Thanks for
Gummy.
eating at Spudsy's.
Gummy boy, wait. He's so...
Have a good one, miss.
He's such a good fellow, even though he doesn't remember. Alright, anyway, I don't know why, but I had the urge to make this video. And I like I said, I don't know why. It just kind of came up in my brain. So I'm doing this. I am, even though no one's gonna watch it. And if you are watching this, then hey, what's up? What are you doing here? Jeez. I want to give a few little thoughts on the Amazing Digital Circus episode 4. Because like I said, random urge, I want to talk about this a bit. Of course, Gummigoo, my boy, my man, my spirit animal, he's here. He doesn't remember though, although he definitely knows something's up, at least in this one adventure, because like he's an NPC. He's gonna be reset a lot. Gloin Queen making an appearance. Kind of sick. There's also a bit of Gloink lore, I guess. I don't know, kind of just a cool, like, returning character. I like the Gloin Queen. Orbs Man is cool because he speaks Minecraft Enchanting Table, which is really awesome. What else? We get a hint of Kinger's Spanish heritage, which is obviously what that means, and that definitely is not a joke at all. Okay, now we get into the more juicy stuff. So Ragatha's stupid, or whatever it would be. Ragatha ain't herself, or is she? Because I've been hearing around that the stupidness, that when she's a little brain dead, she kind of shows her true colors, and I believe that's true. She is putting on a positive outer appearance, but inside she kind of does have like her own opinions and some hatred pent up. So I do think that people have a point with that.
I miss my horses.
Jack's weirdly normal, which might be due to the brainwashing thing, but yeah, it's just really kind of weird just seeing him just talk normally, at least in the second half. And of course, Pomni picks up on that because it's like, Jax is a bully, he's an asshole. So when he shows some normalcy, then you know, kind of an interesting little thing there. Zubul getting a good amount of screen time, but like they're just like nice. They're just like a good friend to Gangle, who we'll talk about Gangle in a second. But yeah, Zubul's just being really nice and like being understanding, and is like they're there for Gangle, and it's really nice to see. Pomni doesn't really get that much. Like she gets some time with the gummy fella, of course, with the grubby gummy.
You're a crummy, slummy, gummy, bummy, dummy.
But other than that, like oh wait. Well, there is one thing, but I'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, that's enough about these clowns. You know what we need to talk about next. This is the entire reason I wanted to make this video. I need to talk about Gangle. Where do I start? No, seriously, where do I start? Oh, I know. Let's start off with a light appetizer of insanity. Expressions! Of course, with a cast of characters like this, the Amazing Digital Circus would, of course, be a treasure trove of memes and still shots that would go viral all over the internet. Literally in episode 1 that happened. So there's no surprise that there's a load of really good expressions on the characters here in this episode 2. Zubul doesn't have that much to show, considering it's basically just eyeballs and eyebrows that you can really work with, but she has a good amount of range and expressions for this episode. You know, she has some moments of concern, some moments of empathy, you know? Nothing crazy, but it's just nice to see. Squashed Ragatha is a thing. There's that. Jax gets a few extreme examples of this, like at the beginning with that face of unbridled hatred, a few good shots of actual terror in his face, and also a nice sprinkling of utter despair and just giving up on everything. Pomni, being Pomni, of course gets some very nice ones, such as after she learns too much about gloink reproduction, standing outside with the trash, and of course also her flirting with the gummy fella, like I said before. There's some good shots there too. But all of these kooky characters combined couldn't even handle Gangle's expressions. There's so many! Maybe it's just recency bias with the new mask or something, but come on, there's so many good shots. Literally all of Gangle's faces are winners. And I mean, come on, you have to admit it. Gangle's adorable, come on. But I have some personal favorites. If you're lucky, you'll catch a glimpse of smug Gangle. Of course, both of the eye twitch moments. Can't forget Gangle listening intensely. We don't talk about that one. Gangle telling off Jax near the beginning with her little angry face. And one of my personal favorites, Gangle looking at her phone. That has infinite potential, and I will always keep that with me. And basically everything in the evening. Which, yeah, I think it's time to discuss the real reason you're here. Gangle is so sad. The more you figure out the story, the more heartbroken you become. It's actually really sad. Over the course of the episode, Gangle's mood and motivation just exponentially drains until it all comes to a head. Before we talk about the big stuff though, I want to go over a few little things first. We learn a lot about Gangle's past, and it's really strange, honestly, because it's super realistic and almost normal. She says she's worked as a shift manager before, and it definitely does show. She definitely knows what she's doing, but we can clearly see that she gets a sort of power high from this position, and people kind of just get annoyed. And of course, as a manager, you want to help your employees, and you want to keep them on the right track, make sure they can keep the work up and, you know, gain experience and money. Of course, with this, we have to mention social masks. I mean, you literally made a character whose head is a mask, and they put on masks that, you know, show emotions. At first, you don't think much of it, but as things continue, you can see that it is indeed just a mask. Underneath this plastic happy mask is still tears. She's really just putting on this fake expression in order to hide her inner insecurities under a sort of positive shield. And as things progress even further, you can literally just see that the mask doesn't dictate her emotions. It's just a cover. It's just, well, a mask. It may be a slightly different face, but it's still the same emotions behind it. It's just now it's showing on the outside too. And once everyone starts leaving, then, you know, as a shift manager, she's supposed to close up shop. And that, of course, leads into this scene. Gangle is alone in the restaurant. It's dark. Everyone else is gone. As a shift manager, she just has to close up shop. But no one's around. The mask doesn't matter anymore. There's no one there to see your true self. She starts walking, but she can't stop thinking about what happened throughout the day. Everything around her starts to just become fuzzy. She becomes disconnected. I know I'm the manager, but everyone hates me. Is this what I'm gonna be doing my whole life? Is there any purpose to this? Why even bother?
Hey. You know, I can close for you if you want. Huh?
And there it is. Pomni has seen Gangle's inner turmoil throughout this whole thing. She has seen the Gangle under the mask, and she understands. Pomni says that she can close up shop, and that Gangle should go home and rest. Gangle is completely shocked by this, and even as she clocks out and leaves, she just seems in shock. No one has ever done this for her. She doesn't even fully know how to react. So Gangle leaves and lets Pomni deal with closing up. And then we have, personally, my favorite scene. Gangle is standing outside on the corner. She's just taking the time to think about this kindness that was given to her. And slowly, Gangle looks up at the stars. Great shot, by the way, my favorite shot. And she makes a decision. She puts her hand up to her face, she takes off her new mask, and she throws it. She tosses it away. And she smiles. It can be such a good feeling to finally take off your mask and just be yourself. And know that there are people who accept you for just being yourself. It really is just a beautiful message, I think. Whenever you're at a low point in life, you can always believe that there's people out there that care about you. There are people that accept you for who you are. You don't need to have a mask on. You know, sometimes life can be tough. Things can happen. But the thing is, the hardest parts of your life, along with fond memories, friends and family, all of the experiences you've ever had, that's what makes you, you. And I think that's just an amazing lesson to kind of keep with you. Even if that's completely wrong and unrelated and I'm misinterpreting things, it's just, you know, some that you can keep with you. And of course, the adventure ends with Gangle standing under the streetlight, and then she gets hit by a truck.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too in-depth with the truck thing, but that is a very specific detail. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, before I sign off, I kinda wanna answer one last question. Why did I get this urge? Why out of everything did I randomly feel like I had to talk about this? Well, maybe it's because me and Gangle aren't too different. Of course we don't follow the exact train track, but we are at least in the same train yard, if that makes sense. Gangle's dream was to make a popular webcomic and sort of build her life off of what she loves to do. But instead, all of her time is taken up by work and recovering from work. While on the job, Gangle will put on this mask that she loves her job and she'd never want to leave it. But in reality, she just wants to follow her own passions, but she just can't. Okay, now imagine that, except replace a webcomic with YouTube, replace work with a random existential crisis that appeared over the summer, and then replace an overly positive happy mask with complete indifference. Gangle went from someone in the background for just a few weird gags to probably my favorite character. Like, GUMMIGOO is still the GOAT. But I don't know, I just really understand her and I like her a lot. And I mean, like I said before, she's adorable, come on. But yeah, me and Gangle aren't so different. And you know what, if she was real, we'd probably hang out. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Originally, this was going to be a lot shorter, but you know, my brain had things to say, and I kind of just had to say them because, you know, random urges do happen to do that. If you like the memes and want to see more of my stuff, then maybe you should subscribe. It's literally free, and it helps me immensely. So yeah, thanks for sticking around and listening to my ramblings, and look forward to Monster Hunter whenever that comes out.
It's not possible!
Wait, what?